What truly happened on Nazino Island, the place history remembers as Cannibal Island? In the spring of 1933, Soviet authorities deported thousands of people to remote Siberian islands as part of a harsh resettlement program. A hastily chosen sandbar on the Obi River became Nazino, where poorly fed settlers arrived without shelter or adequate food. Supply failures, confusion, and brutal bureaucratic orders turned the experiment into a catastrophe within days. Eyewitness accounts and internal reports later described starvation, disease, lawlessness, and the breakdown of any social order. As food disappeared, desperate people committed theft and violence, and survivors recorded horrifying scenes that included acts of cannibalism. When the story became widely known, it shocked both officials and the public, and it soon came to represent the collapse of a failed policy. Soviet investigators produced reports documenting deaths, brutal behavior, and gross administrative negligence on the island. Official responses ranged from denial to quiet punishment of responsible local officials, while many victims remained nameless in records. For decades, the Nazino affair lived in archives and whispers, until historians and journalists uncovered documents that made the episode public again. The story of Nazino raises hard questions about how authoritarian systems manage human lives and how policy can dehumanize ordinary people. It also reminds us how rapidly order can collapse when logistics, empathy, and accountability are absent in governance. Survivor testimonies are chilling, but often spare on graphic detail, focusing instead on hunger, fear, and the struggle to survive. Scholars argue Nazino should be studied not merely for its brutality, but as a warning about rushed social engineering and indifference. Museums and books that touch this history treat it carefully, emphasizing human cost without sensationalism or gratuitous detail. Remembering Nazino honors those who suffered and helps keep debate alive about humane policy and historical responsibility. If you explore archived reports, you will find a mix of official language, testimony fragments, and bureaucratic excuses. Those documents force us to confront how systems can reduce people to statistics and how crisis exposes moral failure. Today, Nazino is a cautionary tale taught in some history courses and discussed in human rights conversations worldwide. Telling this story responsibly means centering victims, avoiding lurid descriptions, and asking how similar patterns might be prevented. History will judge both the decisions that led to Nazino and the silence that allowed its suffering to persist in obscurity. Learning about Nazino challenges us to insist on transparency, humane planning, and respect for the dignity of all people under state power. If this story moved you, please subscribe to my channel and like the video so more people can learn about difficult history.